Hello, literature lovers. Today I am discussing Madwoman in the Attic, and the subtitle of this work is The Woman Writer and the 19th Century Literary Imagination. It's a book by Sandra Gilbert and Susan Gerber, 1979 published book, and it examines Victorian literature from a feminist perspective. It is very popular. I'm just giving an overall perspective of it, and it is really praised. And they are drawing the title is from Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, and Martha Manson, who is the wife of Rochester in the book Jane Eyre, and it is kept in a secretly locked apartment room by her husband, and then she becomes mad. The text is special. It examines not only Charlotte Bronte, but also Emily Bronte, George Eliot, Elizabeth Browning, Christina Rossetti, and Emily Dickinson, Mary Shelley, and Jane Austen. All of them are being examined. It's a great work. You must have a look at it. This is the right time to study and can really go into deep of this topic. And the writing is special. There is reference for Virginia Woolf also, and the way how in the Victorian era they used to live, how they used to survive, and how they used to take decision. All the things are there, and it's really great. It shows both the angel and the monster world related to the Victorian era, and it's really special. Lacking, although it lacks some 19th century women writers, but still the Victorian perspective here is great. Over 700 pages long, the work is an early landmark in the feminist literary criticism, and while some would argue that it has become outdated and that the metaphoric framework outlined by Gilbert and Gerber is limited, essentialist, and insufficiently aware of the varying individual circumstances, it remains an important individual, if not fundamental, feminist work. This book also got a second edition, and in 2000, and which was by Yale Nota Bene Press. It's a great work. I'm sure you must get an over, must have got the idea of how important this work is. You can read it here. And in fact, Gilbert and Gerber has continued to write criticism together, and the next work they are examining is of Shakespeare and the modernist writing among the topics. It's a really good topic, and I'm sure by this work you must have got the overall idea of the work, and it is so deep and special. This work has some other subtext also, and especially the mad woman is also compared with the monster, and all the things are there, and the stress of the importance of killing the figures and presenting the women and the women writers. It's really important. Talking about how instead Gilbert and Gerber urge female writers to strive from the autonomous self-defining beyond this dichotomy which they see as imposed by reductionist patriarchal view of women's role. So all of the role is being there. They also explored the way women were inhibited in the writing, and they are called anxiety of authorship is also there, and the lack of legitimacy of the role models. is also presented in that way. One result was that they identified as a literary double voice text. You can say, in a way, about a double voice text. And the designs are concealed, obscure, and deep, and you can read it clearly. It's a one sided view, although, but you must have got the idea. This work, which I was already, you know, always wanted to say that it is special and you must go for it. This will give you a greater idea of how things are. In this work, they examine the notion that women writers of 19th century were confined in their writing to make their female characters either embody the angel or the monster. It's a struggle which they argue stemmed from male writers' tendencies to categorize female characters as either pure angelic women, unkept madwomen, and in their argument, Gilbert and Gubber point Virginia Woolf, who says women writers must kill the aesthetic ideal through which they themselves have been killed into art. As you know, that Virginia Woolf attempted suicide, and that's the reason of her death. Thanks for being part of it. Thank you.